Hello everyone and a very warm welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to tell you all about mortgage brokers. I'll tell you what they do, why you should use them, how to choose a mortgage broker, some key questions that you can ask them, and I'm going to explain to you all that terminology that they use. So let's begin with A. What do they actually do? A mortgage broker or advisor is someone who will review the mortgages available to you based on your personal financial situation and apply for one on your behalf. So they will review the mortgages available to you based on your personal financial situation and apply for one on your behalf. They can save you time by telling you which lenders are likely to accept you and how to improve your application. And they can speed up the process by dealing with some of the paperwork. So quite frankly, that is what a mortgage broker does, or at least is supposed to do. Review the mortgages available to you based on your personal financial situation and apply for one on your behalf. And if you get a good one, they really can save you time by telling you which lenders are likely to accept you and how to improve your application. And by so doing, they can speed up the process by dealing with some of the paperwork. So that's what a mortgage broker actually does. Now let's move on to why you should use a mortgage broker. As I pointed out earlier on, using a broker can actually save you a lot of time and stress because they will handle everything from searching for a deal to applying and communicating with the lender on your behalf. Mortgage brokers have expert knowledge of the mortgage market and will be able to recommend deals that suit your personal situation. They should also have access to software that allows them to search mortgage deals much faster and more thoroughly than you could actually do yourself. And a good broker will know which lenders are most likely to accept you and help you stay clear of applying for deals you're likely to get, which can have a negative impact on future applications. Also, if you take out a mortgage using a broker, you have the right to complain if the mortgage turns out to be unsuitable. And that's an option that is not available if you apply without taking advice. So those are really the reasons as to why you should use a broker. They will save you a lot of time and stress if they handle everything from searching for a deal to applying and communicating with the lender on your behalf. And they will be able to do that faster because they have expert knowledge of the mortgage market. And for that reason, they will recommend deals that suit your personal situation. And they do also have access to software that allows them to do it much faster and more thoroughly than you could do it yourself. And if you really have a good broker, they will know which lenders are most likely to accept you and help you stay clear of applying for deals you're likely to get, which can have a negative impact on your future applications. And also, if you take out a mortgage using a broker, you have the right to complain if the mortgage turns out to be unsuitable. And that's a really fantastic advantage and an option that isn't available if you apply without taking advice. Now let's move on to C, that is how to choose a broker. Number one, look for a whole of market broker. I'll explain that. There are several things you should consider when choosing a mortgage advisor, and one of the most important is whether they are whole of market. Some mortgage advisors and brokers will only recommend mortgages that are available from a select panel of lenders. Meanwhile, if you speak to an advisor based in a bank or building society, they will only tell you about their own product range. So a whole of market broker will be able to assess every available mortgage so that they can recommend the very cheapest and most suitable deal for you. And this could potentially save you a lot of money. So when you're choosing a broker, you want one who is going to assess every available mortgage so that they can recommend the very cheapest or the most suitable for you. So you don't want a mortgage advisor or a mortgage broker who will only recommend mortgages that are available from a select panel of lenders, or one who is based in a bank or building society, because they will only tell you about their own product range. So when you're looking for a mortgage broker, remember you need to look for a whole of market broker, someone who will be able to assess every available mortgage so that they can recommend the cheapest or the most suitable deal for you. And the advantage of that is that could potentially save you a lot of money. The second tip when you're looking for a broker is to ask about direct-only mortgages. Now, while many mortgages are only available through brokers, some are only available if you apply directly without a broker. And these are known as direct-only mortgages, okay? They are only available to you if you apply directly without a broker. Brokers have no obligation to inform you of these deals. However, it's worth asking your mortgage advisor if they will tell you about client deals that could be cheaper. And you may wish to do some of your own research if your broker is unavailable or unwilling to discuss direct-only deals. So always ask about direct-only mortgages. The next tip when you're choosing a broker is consider which type of broker to use. While most mortgage brokers work with customers in person or over the phone, there is now a growing number of what we call robo-mortgage advisors, that is web-based services which allow you to carry out some or all the mortgage application process online. And remember, there are pros and cons to this approach. Now, those are the tips really that should help you to choose a broker, okay? Look for a whole of market broker. Secondly, ask about direct only mortgages and consider which type of broker to use. Now, when it comes to mortgage broker fees and commission, it's normal for mortgage brokers to earn commission from lenders after arranging a mortgage. Okay, I just thought I would throw in that one. because I think it's important to understand a little bit about mortgage broker fees and commission. So remember, it's normal for mortgage brokers to earn commission from lenders after arranging a mortgage. Some will also charge you a fee, which will either be a flat rate or a percentage of the amount you want to borrow. All mortgage brokers must clearly outline these charges and any fees or commission they receive from a lender before entering into a contract to act on your behalf. So remember that they must clearly outline these charges and any fees or commission they receive from a lender before entering into a contract to act on your behalf. Now, let's move on to D. What are some of the key questions that you should ask a mortgage broker? The first question you should ask him or her is, are you whole of market? Are you whole of market? I discussed what that means previously, so I won't repeat that. Secondly, you should ask them, will you tell me about mortgages that are only available directly from lenders? I touched on that previously. The third question you should ask them is, what are your fees and charges? What are your fees and charges? The next question is, what is included in the service you offer? What is included in the service you offer? For example, will you handle all the admin and chase lenders? Ask, please. The next question is, when will you be available? Office hours only or during evenings and weekends? That's extremely important. If you want things to run smoothly, it is essential that you ask him that. So just a recap again of the questions that you want to ask a mortgage broker is, are you whole of market? Will you tell me about mortgages that are only available directly from lenders? What are your fees and charges? What is included in the service you offer? For example, will you handle all the admin and chase lenders? And when will you be available? Okay, office hours only or during evenings and weekends? Now this brings me to E, and that is the jargon buster. If you're going to interact with a mortgage broker, or if you have already interacted with one, then you know that they tend to use a lot of jargon, and sometimes it can be overwhelming. So I'm going to explain to you the terms that they tend to use. A decent mortgage broker, however, will explain anything you don't understand, but it's still helpful to have some idea of the most common terms. And the first one is AIP. AIP. Now, what that simply stands for is agreement in principle. Agreement in principle. And it means it really just is a document from a mortgage lender confirming in principle how much they'd be willing to lend you. Okay? AIP is a document from a mortgage lender confirming in principle how much they'd be willing to lend you. The other term that you may hear them using is ERCs. ERCs. And that stands for early repayment charges. These are penalty fees you'd have to pay to leave your mortgage deal before a certain point. Okay? ERCs are penalty fees you'd have to pay to leave your mortgage deal before a certain point. The other term that they use is SVR. SVR. And that stands for Standard Variable Rate. And what that simply means is it is what your lender will charge after your mortgage's initial deal period ends. Okay, it is what your lender will charge after your mortgage's initial deal period comes to an end. And the final piece of jargon that they will use is the term freehold and leasehold. Okay, freehold and leasehold, and these are just two different forms of property ownerships. Okay, freehold or leasehold. So these are just a few of the terms you might hear. Okay, now I hope that I have informed you clearly in regards to each of these questions. What do they actually do? What do mortgage brokers actually do? I hope I've explained that clearly, and why you should use them, and how to choose a broker, and also some key questions that you should ask a broker. And finally, I hope I have helped you a little bit to understand their jargon. Now, if you found this video helpful at all, then kindly do give the video a thumbs up, and you may share the video with anybody else that you think may benefit from it. And if you wish, do subscribe to the channel. That would be nice, and interact with me in the comment section. Now, thank you very much, and I will see you in our next video. Bye bye.